What unfolds when one of English football's most storied institutions decides to go all in, again and again, in a relentless pursuit of glory? For generations, Arsenal Football Club has stood as a symbol of tradition, innovation, and ambition. As the summer transfer window reopens, the red half of North London braces for another high-stakes saga, one that could define an era and rewrite the club's destiny. The stakes are enormous. Tens of millions of pounds at risk, careers and reputations hanging in the balance, and the collective dreams of a global fan base riding on a handful of pivotal moves. Is this finally the summer when Arsenal smashes the cycle of near misses and heartbreaks? Or will it become another chapter in a long-running story of striving, spending, and falling agonizingly short? To truly grasp the present, let's journey back through the annals of Arsenal's rich history. Arsenal is not merely a football club. It is a living legacy, tracing its roots back nearly 140 years to its founding in the late 19th century. From the pioneering days of Herbert Chapman, who revolutionized football tactics in the 1920s and 30s, to the golden era of Arsene Wenger's Invincibles in the early 2000s, Arsenal has always been synonymous with forward-thinking football and the pursuit of excellence. Yet, for much of the past 2 decades, the club has watched as rivals Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea have hoisted the Premier League trophy, leaving Arsenal yearning for a return to the summit. The last 3 Premier League campaigns have been especially bittersweet. Each year, the Gunners have mounted real title challenges, only to stumble in the crucial final weeks. Supporters have endured 3 consecutive second-place finishes. Proof of progress, yet a harsh reminder of the fine margins that separate triumph from disappointment. The hunger for change at the Emirates Stadium is now more intense than ever. From die-hard fans in Islington to supporters in distant corners of the world, a singular desire unites them. Not just to compete, but to conquer and reclaim their place atop English football. In response, Arsenal's leadership, now under the combined stewardship of manager Mikel Arteta and newly appointed sporting director Arteta and Berta, has chosen a new, bolder path. Gone is the era of focusing solely on nurturing promising prospects. Today, Arsenal targets established, battle-hardened winners, players who bring not only talent, but the mentality and experience required to deliver results on the biggest stages. This summer's master plan revolves around 2 marquee signings. First, there is Viktor Gyökeres, the Swedish striker whose meteoric rise has electrified European football. Last season, Gyökeres achieved the extraordinary feat of netting more than 50 goals for Sporting Clube de Portugal, a record that places him among the continent's elite forwards. His blend of physicality, movement, clinical finishing, and relentless work rate has made him a nightmare for defenders and a prized asset for managers seeking a true number 9. Gyökeres' ambitions are well known. Having conquered the Portuguese league and proven himself on the European stage, he seeks a new challenge at the highest level. Clubs from across the continent, most notably Manchester United, have expressed interest. However, Gyökeres has signaled that his heart is set on Arsenal. Reports from credible sources, including David Ornstein of The Athletic, indicate that personal terms have already been agreed. The Swede is ready to wear the iconic red and white, leading the line at the Emirates Stadium as the centerpiece of Arteta's attack. But Arsenal's transformation does not stop up front. In the engine room, the club has secured the coveted signature of Arteta Zubimendi, the Spanish international whose tactical intelligence and composure have drawn admiration from top clubs across Europe. Zubimendi's decision to choose Arsenal over Liverpool and the mighty Real Madrid represents a significant coup. For Mikel Arteta, who has long admired Zubimendi's ability to control the tempo and organize play, this is the missing piece that could unlock Arsenal's full potential. Zubimendi himself has spoken glowingly about the move. Once I decided to leave, my mind was set on Arsenal. Their style of play suits me perfectly. This is a youthful, highly motivated, and ambitious team. They've shown their potential recently, and I truly believe the best is yet to come. His arrival is seen as pivotal, not just for his individual qualities, but for the tactical flexibility he brings. With Zubimendi orchestrating the midfield, England's Declan Rice can be pushed into a more advanced, dynamic role, adding further threat and unpredictability to Arsenal's approach. The ambition currently on display at Arsenal is nothing short of breathtaking. Yet, with high ambition comes high risk. The financial outlay involved is staggering. The Gyökeres deal alone could rise above £70 million, factoring in add-ons tied to Champions League qualification and goal milestones. Zubimendi's fee, reportedly exceeding his release clause at more than £50 million, adds another significant sum. In total, these two signings could see Arsenal spend well beyond £100 million, a figure that excites supporters, but also raises eyebrows among financial analysts and rival clubs. To balance these bold investments and comply with the Premier League's strict profit and sustainability rules, Arsenal faces some tough decisions. Homegrown striker Eddie Nketiah, valued at up to £30 million, is being made available for transfer. Likewise, Nuno Tavares could bring in another £12 million. These potential sales are not just about raising funds. They are vital for the club to maintain financial discipline, ensuring that big spending does not lead to sanctions or future transfer restrictions. Even Brighton and Hove Albion, Gyökeres' former club, stand to benefit from this deal. Owing to a cleverly negotiated sell-on clause, Brighton will receive a substantial windfall, potentially more than £4 million, from Sporting's profit on Gyökeres' sale to Arsenal. This serves as a reminder that smart business decisions can yield surprising dividends years down the line. The football world is watching, and opinions are sharply divided. David Ornstein, one of the most respected journalists in the game, sees Arsenal's pursuit of Gyökeres as a bold statement of intent. Arsenal's pursuit of Gyökeres signals a major shift. The club is now prioritizing proven goalscorers who can make an immediate impact, Ornstein explains. This marks a significant departure from previous strategies, where Arsenal often opted to develop young, unproven talents rather than pay premium prices for established stars. However, not all experts are convinced. Analysts at Arsblog, a leading Arsenal fan site, have issued warnings about concentrating so much spending on a single striker. They argue that pouring resources into one position could leave other areas, especially central defense, dangerously exposed. The grueling Premier League season, with its frequent injuries, suspensions, and fixture congestion, demands a deep and well-rounded squad. Neglecting defensive reinforcements, they caution, could undermine the club's entire project. There is also the human element, squad harmony. Integrating high-profile, high-salary signings is always a delicate balancing act. Established players may feel threatened, while new arrivals must adapt quickly to both the Premier League's physicality and the unique pressures of representing a club with such lofty expectations. The departures of experienced figures like Jorginho and Thomas Partey, who left under complex and controversial circumstances, mean that leadership roles within the dressing room are up for grabs. Arteta's challenge is now as much about man management as it is about tactics, fostering unity, managing egos, and preserving the fragile chemistry that makes teams successful. Consider the historical precedents. In the early 2000s, Chelsea underwent a dramatic transformation under Roman Abramovich, evolving from nearly firemen to serial winners through a spree of marquee signings. Their investment in proven stars like Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and Petr Cech paid off handsomely, delivering multiple league titles and European glory. But for every Chelsea, there is a Leeds United, a club that gambled big in the early 21st century, failed to secure Champions League football, and suffered financial meltdown and relegation as a consequence. Arsenal's current approach is a high-wire act, balancing the allure of immediate success against the risks of financial overreach. Looking ahead, the consequences of this summer's moves could be profound. If Gyökeres and Zubimendi settle quickly and deliver on expectations, Arsenal could finally possess the blend of cutting-edge and balance needed to end their long wait for a Premier League crown. Gyökeres, with his record of more than 50 goals in a single season, could become the lethal striker fans have craved since the days of Thierry Henry. Zubimendi's intelligent play could orchestrate Arsenal's attacks from deep, liberating Rice and others to drive forward and overwhelm opposition defenses. Yet the path forward is filled with uncertainty. Integrating new stars into a tightly knit squad is rarely seamless. The recent memory of big-money signings who failed to adapt, such as Nicolas Pepe or even Mesut Ozil in his later years, serves as a cautionary tale. If results do not materialize swiftly, internal tensions could rise. The pressure on Arteta, already immense, would only grow with every misstep. Financially, Arsenal's strategy is a calculated gamble. The entire plan is predicated on maintaining Champions League football and mounting a serious title challenge. Should the new signings fail to deliver, the club could be forced into yet another cycle of rebuilding and financial restraint. The stakes could not be higher. But what lessons can be drawn from Arsenal's bold approach? For fans, club owners, and managers everywhere, This summer's activity is a masterclass in risk management and organizational transformation. In the world of business, sports, and technology, incremental change sometimes falls short. There are moments when only bold, well-calculated risks can break through entrenched barriers and create new possibilities. Arsenal's story this summer is a vivid illustration that ambition, timing, and flawless execution must be balanced against financial prudence, team cohesion, and a clear long-term vision. For investors and decision-makers, the message is clear. Greatness requires the courage to take risks, but those risks must be managed with precision and foresight. Arsenal's approach, carefully orchestrated yet brimming with ambition, serves as a reminder that true progress often demands stepping beyond one's comfort zone. Let's widen the lens and look at the broader context. The Premier League, now the wealthiest and most watched domestic football competition on the planet, has become a magnet for global investment, top-tier talent, and innovation. Premier League clubs are not just sporting entities, they are global brands, economic engines, and cultural touchstones. On-field success drives revenues off the field, from lucrative sponsorships and merchandise sales to broadcast rights and international fan engagement. For Arsenal, returning to the top would not only fulfill a sporting ambition, but also unlock enormous commercial potential, enhancing their brand and financial position worldwide. Simultaneously, the football landscape is evolving rapidly. Financial fair play regulations, first introduced by UEFA and now strictly enforced by the Premier League, are designed to prevent clubs from spending beyond their means. This means that even the most affluent clubs must make difficult choices, balancing the pursuit of trophies with long-term financial sustainability. Arsenal's decision to finance new signings through player sales is a direct response to these pressures, a sign that fiscal discipline and bold investment can, and must, coexist. Let's not overlook the ripple effects of these moves. Sporting Clube de Portugal, buoyed by Gyökeres' remarkable goal tally last season, now faces the challenge of replacing their talismanic striker. Reports suggest that Simon Banza, a prolific forward in his own right, has emerged as a leading candidate. Meanwhile, Brighton, a club celebrated for its data-driven recruitment and long-term planning, is set to reap the benefits of their sell-on clause, a windfall that could fund their next wave of ambitious signings and infrastructural investments. Such secondary effects highlight how interconnected the football ecosystem has become, where one major transfer can reverberate across multiple clubs and leagues. Expert opinions remain sharply divided. David Ornstein is bullish about the transformative potential of recruiting elite talent, asserting that such moves can alter a club's entire trajectory and signal a new era of ambition. In contrast, Arsblog and other analysts stress the importance of balance, warning that overcommitting resources to a handful of marquee signings may leave the squad vulnerable elsewhere. The truth, as is often the case, likely lies somewhere in between. Bold moves can catalyze success, but only if accompanied by holistic squad planning and robust financial controls. Let's imagine, for a moment, the best-case scenario. Victor Gyökeres adapts seamlessly to the Premier League's intensity, quickly forming a devastating partnership with Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Zubimendi establishes himself as the metronome of the midfield, dictating play and providing a platform for creative talents to flourish. Declan Rice evolves into a box-to-box powerhouse, chipping in with crucial goals and dominating games from the center of the pitch. The Emirates Stadium becomes a fortress once more, and Arsenal ends their long wait for a league title, sparking celebrations from North London to Nairobi, from New York to New Delhi. Now, entertain the alternative outcome. Injuries, tactical misfits, or adaptation struggles disrupt the team's momentum. Pressure mounts from fans and the media. Key players become unsettled, and rumors of dissatisfaction swirl across social media and news outlets. Arsenal, unable to sustain their challenge, slip behind their rivals. Financial pressures force the club to tighten their belt, and the cycle of reconstruction resumes. The dreams of glory fade, replaced by the haunting echoes of what might have been. Both outcomes are possible, and the difference between success and failure may hinge on intangibles: leadership, adaptability, and resilience. Mikel Arteta's ability to manage star egos, foster unity, and instill a relentless winning mentality will be tested as never before. The support of the club's hierarchy, the patience of the fans, and the strength of the squad's inner core will all play crucial roles in determining Arsenal's fate. For the global football community, Arsenal's high-stakes summer serves as both inspiration and warning. It is a powerful reminder that even the most historic and well-run clubs must evolve, adapt, and, on occasion, take calculated gambles to achieve greatness. Yet those gambles must be rooted in sound strategy, guided by a coherent vision, and executed with discipline. Let's also acknowledge the human stories that underpin the headlines. For Victor Gyökeres, this move represents the culmination of years of dedication and sacrifice. From his formative days in Sweden, through spells in the English Championship and Portugal's top flight, to the pinnacle of the Premier League. For Martin Zubimendi, it is an opportunity to test himself against the very best, to become the heartbeat of one of England's most exciting projects. For young fans around the world, these signings are a source of hope and inspiration, proof that dreams can be achieved through talent, hard work, and the right opportunities. And here's a fascinating detail that often escapes the headlines. Thanks to Brighton and Hove Albion's shrewd inclusion of a sell-on clause in Gyökeres' contract, the South Coast club stands to pocket several £millions from his transfer to Arsenal. It is a masterstroke of long-term planning, and a reminder that sometimes the hidden winners in football's complex web are those who plan furthest ahead. As the transfer window drama intensifies, one question lingers over North London and beyond. Will Arsenal's bold gambles bear fruit? Will this be the summer when